I've often been asked this question: how do you send files from Telegram to other applications? Because folk often open up the Telegram app and they've got a video, they tap on the video and they want to share that video with somebody else, and it says share the link or forward, but they can only do that to another Telegram user, and they're like, okay, does this thing ever allow you to share with anybody else outside Telegram? And the answer is a resounding yes. You've just got to understand what's happening in the background and why Telegram operates this way. Telegram is not just a messaging app like a WhatsApp or a Facebook Messenger. It's a very powerful application. You can write programs that run inside Telegram that do a whole lot of other stuff, but also it's built on modern technology to be able to not only share messages, but you can share files, any type of files. And the file sizes are basically restricted to only about 1.5 gigabytes, which most mobile devices won't be sending to each other every day. But that's the power that it has. I'm going to be explaining to you the back workings of it all so that it makes sense to you as to why you just can't take a video file that you receive on Telegram and share it with somebody on WhatsApp, how the thinking goes behind it. Okay, so let's start looking at the whole dynamics of it. So you have a device, you have Telegram on it. If you have text on it, which is all typing, or media, which is video, audio files, or you have any other type of file. Now, Telegram can handle whether it's a Mac file, a Linux file, a Windows executable file, any file format can be handled by Telegram. It can send that in the Telegram ecosystem. Lots of other messaging apps won't even allow you to share a file like that or download it onto the device. Okay, so that's one of the major differences. So if you file sharing with somebody else, that's the point to start off with this. So what happens when you send any text, any message, any files? It goes into the Telegram cloud. Now this is where Telegram differs from literally 90% of all other, or I could say 99% of all other messaging apps. They literally go through a platform, through the internet, and they reside on the two different devices. So if you want to have the stuff that's on your device, when you move to a new device, you're going to have to back it up. So like WhatsApp allows you to back up into your Google Drive. So when you then install WhatsApp on another device, you then have to synchronize it or download the backup from Google Drive. With Telegram, because it's a cloud service, almost like Gmail, when you send something, it resides in the cloud and it's fully encrypted and secure. And somebody else who's on Telegram will be able to link into the cloud and have access to those files. But if you're sending a message to somebody, it goes first to the cloud, and then it will translate across to the receiving device. Now, the power of this is if you lose your device, you log in again with a new device, you put in your cell number that you had previously, and everything is synchronized onto your device because it's stored in the cloud. That's where, first of all, Telegram differs from all the other messaging apps. Okay, so what happens when you're sending text? Literally the text goes to the cloud and straight onto the device, and you're able to see that text on the other device quite comfortably. Now we're talking Telegram to Telegram. What happens now when you send media and other types of files? On the Telegram device receiving, you will see the media file will show there, and the other files would also show there, but they won't be physically on the device. Now there's a setting inside Telegram that you can say, well, up until a certain size file, I want you to automatically download them onto my device. By default, Telegram doesn't allow you to download those files immediately. For one big reason is that the file size might be like 500 megabytes. And if every file that somebody sends to you is going to automatically be downloaded on your device, somebody could send you 20 files of 1 gig each, and then your phone will be sitting on the internet all the time downloading 20 gigs of files. So what Telegram does, it sends you the reference. It says there's a media file in the cloud waiting for you, or there's another type of file. Do you want to download it? So it shows it to you there, and then you can click on it and it downloads it from the cloud onto your device. In that way, it preserves your usage of your data onto your mobile device. Okay, which I think is a brilliant concept. So files can be sent up to 1.5 gigs, and it can be any other type of files can be sent. So this is how Telegram operates. Now it would possibly make a bit more sense now to understand that with Telegram's ecosystem, it can't just do what other messaging apps do when you're sending a little photo clip or you're sending a media file, because other messaging apps have a limit of, like WhatsApp, you can send a video and then it compresses it. It can only send 17 megabytes. So if inadvertently the thing downloads to your device, you literally only lose 17 megabytes of data if your phone was on during that time. If Telegram had to do that and somebody sends you that gig file, you'd lose a whole gig of data because it automatically will download. Hence, the fact that it says to you, you have the choice to download it. So already here it's preserving your data and respecting your decision to decide whether you want to get it down or not. Okay, so there's not only Telegram that's on mobile devices, you can have it on your tablets, you can have it, there's a desktop version which is a standalone version. Interesting enough, I noticed the other day that WhatsApp has got now a full desktop version, which is quite interesting. I don't know how that exactly works, but they've never had that for as long as I knew WhatsApp before this. So what the desktop app will do is, when you install it, it asks you, are you using Telegram already? If you say yes, it will then ask you what is the number you registered Telegram on. You use your cell phone number. It then will send a verification PIN to your cell phone, giving you that number. You put it on your desktop, and then your desktop app is totally independent. It's linked into the cloud. So if you do anything on your desktop, it goes to the cloud and it's synchronized with all your devices. So you can have Telegram running on 10 different devices at the same time. You don't have to do the scanning QR code to link your phone with a desktop version when you're there, sort of thing. Everything runs independently. And I'll explain to you later that if it's running on 10 different devices, you literally can switch them off from one device if you're not present at those devices. So you have that security cover. Okay, but hopefully you see where this is all going to. You have it on these independent devices. They're all linked into the cloud. I use this example often because it just makes sense. It's like you having Gmail on all your devices. The mails are all on all the devices, but it's synchronized with a cloud service. Okay, that is Telegram. And this is what makes Telegram so unique. So let's get on to the next slide and see how this works. So you have a device, the Telegram cloud. On the left side, we have now the Telegram app that's installed. On the right hand side, we have, I'll use example of WhatsApp. Okay, so when the person with the Telegram that's installed on the device wants to send a message to somebody and send it on WhatsApp, not on Telegram. As long as if the other person has Telegram, then it's absolutely no problem for sharing files, because you will share it in a different way to somebody that's on Telegram. Okay, but I'm going to treat it now that the other person only has another messaging app like WhatsApp. So when you send on your side, you get a message. We'll take it on the left-hand side. If it's a text message, when you tap to share that text message, you will have the options of saying forward it, copy it, or copy a link. Okay, you can't literally share a link to the person because they are not on Telegram. You can't forward it to them because they are not on Telegram. But if you copy it, you can then have an option of, it will pop up and ask you to which application you want to copy it. Because what it's doing, it's just copying the text, which is already on your device. It's not in the cloud, it's on your device, because text automatically syncs because it's so small. Then you can just paste it or send it into that application. So you'll go copy text, and then you say copy it to where. It will give you an option for WhatsApp. You then select WhatsApp, and it will send that text to that individual on their phone, even if they don't have Telegram. But how does it handle the media and the files? As I mentioned, media is not limited to the limitation that WhatsApp has as 17 megs. If it allowed you to send a file straight to WhatsApp, WhatsApp would refuse to accept it. So how does the system work? What it will do is it will say, if you want to watch this media on your phone, it's not on your phone. You'll have to click the little arrow button in the top left corner of the media little window, and that will allow it to download from the cloud onto your device to view. Now, Telegram has a feature also that if you want to view it, stream it from the cloud and view it and download it in the background, there's a setting on the phone that you can set and say, allow me to stream. So you pretty much press the play button. It will play back the video audio file for you while it's busy streaming it from the cloud and saving it onto your device. Okay, but in this case, if you want to send it now to somebody that's on WhatsApp, it doesn't exist on your device. It's just referencing it from the cloud. So you'll have to click download first onto your device. Now the difference here is if you were sending this media to somebody that was on Telegram, Telegram would give you the option of forwarding that media to the other person. Why? Because it will just send it to the other Telegram user, and that Telegram user will get the link that exists in the cloud, and they will directly download it from the cloud. But in a case like this, the person receiving doesn't have Telegram, they only have WhatsApp. You physically have to send the file to them. You can't send them a link from the cloud because they don't have access into the cloud, into Telegram's cloud, without having Telegram application in. That's just security 101. So what happens is you will find out that this file, the media file and files now that you want to share on WhatsApp will be downloaded onto your physical device. Once it's on your physical device, you then will have an additional little button that pops up that says you can now share this file. And when that happens it means it's on your device, it's taken it off the cloud, now you can share it, and then it will ask you which application do you want to share it with, and one of the options that will pop up on your phone if you have WhatsApp installed will be WhatsApp. And then what it will do is it will take the media, it will take the file that you want to share. It then engages WhatsApp. And at this point, WhatsApp is going to look at this media file. And if you had a 500 meg media file, WhatsApp's going to say, whoop, I can't send this big file. I'm not designed to do it that way. So I'm going to either have to compress it to bits, or you have to cut it up into little segments and send it to my other fellow user of WhatsApp. So what happens is if you have a 200 meg file, WhatsApp literally will let you cut it up into 10 little small videos if it's a video, and then you can send it to the other user using WhatsApp in 10 little small videos, and it compresses it because that's how WhatsApp works. It doesn't keep your original high quality files, video files. Then you might click on the files and say, I want to share this file with my other WhatsApp user, my friend, and WhatsApp might tell you, sorry, but we don't deal with this file format. Your phone could say, yes, but Telegram deals with it. But WhatsApp will tell you, sorry, we can't even process it to send it to the other person. Okay, so you can see now why Telegram wouldn't just automatically send it to another WhatsApp user as a link, because you'll have Telegram inundated with things of millions of WhatsApp users saying, I've got a link from Telegram, but I can't open it because they don't have access to the cloud, or the file format they can't read, or the file size is too big. Okay, so what we are doing is on the local device that you're sending, it's almost been verified by your local WhatsApp as to whether it can send it. If it approves that it can send that file, it will then compress or do whatever it needs to do on the device that's sending. Now, sorry, my apology, I've still got device receiving here, but this is on the left is the one that's sending to the WhatsApp device now. So what will happen is the sending device will contact its WhatsApp, will contact the other phone's WhatsApp and say, I've got files to send. It says, okay, send them across. Are they in the proper format? The WhatsApp from where it's coming says, yes, I've crunched them down. I've asked the person to break it up into segments. So whatever format you're getting now, I've approved of it and it will come through to you. Then those files are shared across there. You will find a share button appear on your phone that's got Telegram on as soon as the files have been downloaded from the cloud, because then it can do whatever it wants to with those files and then share it across. So the share would go across, and then your WhatsApp device would be sitting with a file that's been compressed because it can only accept that size, and in certain cases it probably wouldn't receive the types of files you're sending. If you send a file that it doesn't accept, it won't accept it in here. So that is the limitations that happen there. As I said, Telegram can deal with about 1.5 gigs, WhatsApp a 16 meg file when it comes to videos, and any type of file can be sent on a Telegram device from Telegram to Telegram. whereas WhatsApp or a lot of the other messaging apps will restrict what type of files are sent. In principle, Telegram is treated as a messaging app and a file sharing app, whereas WhatsApp is just a messaging app. And when we talk about file sharing, WhatsApp might be considered as file sharing because they're sharing little small videos and small audio files. But when we talk about file sharing, we're talking about big size files. It's sharing files of any nature. Okay, so as I round this off here, I want to just cover some key things as to why I would suggest you use Telegram. Besides the power that I showed you with the sizing, I'm going to just cover a few points. The one is that if you send a message to somebody else and you realize, oh, I made a spelling mistake, you can tap on the message on your side and it will give you an option to edit. You make an edit on it, you then click save it there, it updates it on everybody's device that you sent that message to. So you don't have to go and delete it off their devices and send them a new message. However, if you want to delete it, you can press down on your message, and when you press delete, it asks you, do you want to delete it from your device or from everyone's device that you sent it to? And I know there's other programs that allow you a certain window period to do that. With Telegram, there's no window period. You can delete it 6 months, a year after you've sent it, you can still delete it. And the other thing is, if you delete it from your device and everyone else's device, on the other devices, it shows nothing there. It doesn't say this message has been deleted as it does on WhatsApp. You'll just see nothing there. There'll be no record that anything was sent to you at all. Okay, the second thing is the file sizes you can send and the type of files. I've covered that already. Then in Telegram, you can create groups of 200,000 and even more if you have a super group. So you can convert a normal group into a super group. On WhatsApp, I think it's 250 people in a group or 500, I'm not sure. One of the clients that I work with, I move them onto Telegram because they have massive network of users and they want to create a group. So this is the only tool that can be used, and of course share lots of different files to their group. The other thing is, if you are broadcasting to the entire world, say you're running a channel that is broadcasting information and it's just a one-way channel, you can have unlimited number of people joining that channel. There can be 1 million people on the channel because when you broadcast it, they will all be informed of what happens. So it's a broadcast channel that operates, and it's the only application that has this technology in it. It's not like, I think WhatsApp has a broadcast, but that is just to put 10 people into a broadcast. So when you send a message, it goes to each one as if you're sending it individually. This is a channel like a TV broadcast channel, but it's a channel that people all can join, and anything that gets published in there, they're able to see. Okay. Then I mentioned delete without trace. The other thing is you can schedule posts. Like I have my client wanting to schedule a release of a message to all his associates. Say in this business, there's say 1,000 people that are on his Telegram, and he wants to release an announcement to them at 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. You can schedule the post. When you take the post, whatever you want to post, you press send, you hold it down, and it will ask you, do you want to send it and schedule it? You then put in the time and date and you press OK. And at the time and date, it will automatically post that area. So that's quite a powerful thing. It runs polls, anonymous polls, in groups, in channels. You can run it by grading who's actually commented on it, and it's multiple choice. It's different types of polls you can run. It's built into the system. There's beautiful stickers. Now, I'm not a sticker person, but eventually I get myself caught up in this because the stickers are so awesome, animated, and they're very graphic, nice image size. Then you can also, if you're sending somebody a message and you anticipate they're in a meeting or they're sleeping and you don't want their phone to ping, you can send it and tell the message not to make a sound on their side. There's voice calls. I have people calling me on Telegram and I answer it, but I use another SIP service called LinPhone, which is an open source platform also. By the way, Telegram is open source. There's open APIs for developers and all that sort of thing. So the voice calls, they're all encrypted. I don't use it that much, and you can experiment with that if you want to. I've mentioned the cloud storage and the power of that everything is synchronized and secure in cloud. The other thing is with the cloud storage, the servers exist all over the globe. They're not in one country. It's distributed all over the globe for security purposes. You can run it on multiple devices. As I said, they all will be linked. The other great thing is that you can run multiple accounts, which means if you have 3 cell phone numbers, like on my device, I've got 2 accounts, I've got 2 cell phone numbers, 2 SIMs in my phone. But if you have a work cell phone and your personal cell phone, you can load both of the accounts on the same device and it will operate without you having to, create a parallel installation. So you can create multiple accounts on the same device. When you're creating groups, there's beautiful group permissions. You can allow people in the group to post a message or not to do so. They're able to send media or not, or send stickers or not, or they can, all the permissions inside the group can be shut down from the rest of the group, and you can allow certain key people to only be able to contribute. So that's a very powerful feature with the group sessions. Also in the group sessions, I might mention that you have the ability to search, so you can hashtag inside the groups or any of your communications, and you can search for messages in your group. Because it's anticipated to grow so large, it gives you those features of cataloging. And saying growing so large, you might start to get so many different groups and channels and personal contacts on your device. They allow you to develop folders, and on the fly you can create a folder and call it maybe personal, and all your personal chats will go in there. You can create one, maybe call it groups for me or groups, and all your groups go in there. Whatever it is, you can create multiple folders just to clean up everything on the interface, and that is a phenomenal. I use that routinely. Okay, then also your privacy. You don't have to share your number. I think on WhatsApp, somebody must have your number on their phone before they can find you on WhatsApp. Here, somebody can look for you on Telegram and just look for either your username or the name you describe yourself as. There's also secret chats, which means you can send somebody a chat and it's only between the two of you. So if you both are on Telegram, when you want to do a secret chat, it will request the other person's permission. Then it creates a separate ecosystem for the two of you to communicate with. And then you can put timers on your messages also in the secret chat. So if you send a message, it can self-destruct within X amount of seconds or minutes. And that's a very popular feature if people want to do, send some documents, they send it across, and that person has a look. Once they have a look at it, it will self-destruct the document. Then this I mentioned also, but if you have this installed on a lot of devices, you can open the device you're on and it will give you a list of where all Telegram is running that you've installed it on, and you can remotely shut down those devices. So if you left Telegram on your desktop at work, I use it at my work all the time because I get people sending me files and that through Telegram. Then I can just take it off my desktop version, work with it on a computer, design my stuff, drop it back into Telegram, and then when I go with my mobile device, I have it all synchronized across the cloud with that. But I can shut down devices that I'm not at. So if I'm not at work and I know somebody might look at my computer, from my mobile device I can say the one at work, I want to shut that one down, and it automatically will shut it down. Very awesome. And then there's tons of other features. But I think that will give you a good feeling as to, I think, why Telegram has to be your choice of messaging and file sharing going forward. We run programs where people send me 700 meg files over Telegram because I do video editing with them. That is absolutely no problem, and it just works like a dream. So I've moved off all other platforms a while back already. I cut the umbilical cord because I think sometimes there are so many choices, and if you sit with all of these applications, it just gets very muddled up. So people know if they want to get hold of me now, it's only on Telegram, and if I communicate, it's through Telegram. And I find people will start to see the benefit as they start to use it. I know this has been an extended bit of video talking about how you share files, but I think it's important also to understand Telegram as an ecosystem, and that it's an excellent messaging, file sharing, and secure environment, and it's still adding more and more features by the day. My final closing point is the person that developed Telegram is a young guy who was mimicking what was happening in America with Facebook. He created the first Facebook inside of the Soviet Union. That it was called VK. But the government came onto him and wanted to get information from him of the users because his system was totally encrypted, and he refused to do so, and they put so much pressure on him. Eventually he left the company because he didn't want to give in to give anybody's data to people. He left the country, and they're in Dubai now. They started developing Telegram, and their full principle is their record for the past many years, and they've got over 400 million users on Telegram. Their record is that they don't share a single byte of information with any third party. And if any government puts pressure on them, he takes his team, and he's self-funded. He takes his team and he'll move it to a country where they have the freedom of speech, where they have the ability to have their information kept totally private. And that's why also I think one of the main reasons why I use a program like Telegram is because it's totally secure, and the person who's developed it is really, really focused on the security of everybody's data. We can't say that about the Googles, the Facebooks. They have shared things with police forces because the FBI requested information and governments, and they say, well, it's the law. As far as the owner of Telegram goes, there is a zero tolerance for sharing any data. The other thing is all the stuff is encrypted, so nobody will be able to see it in any case. But since the company started, not one single byte of information was shared with any third party, from governments to organizations, no one. Okay, so I think that should put your mind at rest if you decide to move over to Telegram.